We continue with phlegm, diagnosis according to Genie imbalances. A person with a lot of phlegm will have difficulty concentrating. There is a difference in how a difficulty in concentrating manifests itself in various imbalance patterns. When there is heat, the person will find it hard to concentrate because they are mentally and physically very restless. New thoughts and ideas will constantly arise, which makes it hard for them to remain focused. When there is heart blood deficiency and spleen qi deficiency, Shen will lack nourishment, resulting in the mind feeling empty. When they read something, they cannot remember what they have just read. When there is phlegm, it is hard to concentrate because the head feels as if it is full of cotton wool and the thoughts are very blurred. It is difficult to think clearly. Again, this can be recognized from when you have had a heavy cold or a bad hangover. Due to its obstructive nature, phlegm can also be a cause of dizziness. The difference between dizziness in a deficient condition and phlegm is that when there is phlegm, there will also be a heavy sensation in the head and possibly even nausea. Moreover, the dizziness can arise completely at random, and it often feels as if the room is spinning round. The dizziness will often feel worse when the person is lying down, or lying down will not ameliorate the condition. Physically, phlegm can be seen in a person's skin and the flesh below, which appears dough-like and lacks tone. This can sometimes be seen in the face. The complexion will be pasty and the skin slightly loose. There may be a lack of luster to the skin. The skin and the hair can also be greasy or oily. There can be a tendency to be slightly overweight or even obese. The person may be stocky and portly without being muscular. The fingers of a person with chronic phlegm may be a little too thick and appear to be slightly chubby. There can be increased growth of body hair. Phlegm, because it blocks the movement of blood, can manifest with a dark, sooty color around the eyes. A person with phlegm can sometimes have a special odor. The odor is difficult to describe precisely, but it is easily recognizable when it has been smelled a couple of times. The smell is heavy and lingers in the air a long time after the person has left the room. It can sometimes smell a bit like a wet leather jacket. The saliva in the mouth will be thicker and stickier. The person can have a sticky taste or sensation in their mouth. Phlegm can also manifest with a gravelly voice, a slightly nasal quality to the voice, or the need to clear the throat a lot. The tongue can be swollen or lacking in tone and can have an oily or sticky coating. The pulse is usually wiry or slippery. Symptoms and signs that are triggered or provoked by perfume, petrol, or solvents will be due to phlegm dampness. This is because phlegm has a heavy and greasy nature. The above substances dissolve and dilute things that are oily, and they will dissolve and dilute phlegm in the body. This will result in the phlegm that was previously stagnant and embedded in the body's tissues being set in motion and circulating around the body. Although this dilutes the phlegm, it still has a disrupting and obstructive effect. Phlegm dampness can also be provoked by scents and odors that are heavy, such as certain perfumes and flowers such as hyacinths and lilies. Phlegm dampness symptoms are also often provoked by weather fronts, especially when there is low pressure, thundery weather, and very humid weather. Symptoms that are exacerbated by consuming phlegm or damp-producing food and drinks will, of course, also indicate that there is phlegm. Looking through the symptoms and signs can give the impression that we and most of our clients have phlegm. This is not far from the truth. Both the climate and diet in Northern Europe mean that there can be a tendency to develop phlegm dampness. But phlegm is also something that accumulates throughout life and is often a consequence of most chronic patterns of imbalance. Therefore, the older you get, the more phlegm will probably have in your body. Thank you so much for listening.